Okay. Hello. I am back. I made it. Fulfilled the 10 days. And I wanted to share my experience. And this video is also for those who are interested in knowing a little more about what goes on at a 10-day Vipassana sit. So hopefully it will inspire you to do one as well. So starting with one of the big questions of anyone who hears about Vipassana is why? Why would you do a 10-day sit? And I think in order to answer this question, you really have to know what it is you're doing. And because there's different ways to look at it. I think the average person who doesn't know about meditation is going to see 10 days of silence and sitting as something that would be amazingly difficult to do and a waste of time. So on the other perspective, someone who knows the benefits of meditation and silence, as Tom Waits says, there's a lot to say about saying nothing at all. And so to start with what it is Vipassana is a technique, a meditation technique. And the first 3 days you actually spend doing a different technique, which is called Anapana. And that is, it's all focused on the breath. And the instructor, Goenka, he is coming at it from an angle that you're there to work. Meditation is work. And when you're focusing on your breath and the sensations, you're trying to really concentrate and be there and not get carried away by what comes up. So why one would do something like this is to sharpen the mind, to really delve into what's going in your mind. I think some people are going to notice that they have a lot of desires. Some people might notice that while focusing on their breath, that they have a lot of thoughts of like hatred come up, or events in the past that happened where they can't get over it, or there's a lot that you'll notice that'll come up, and I think it's a really great experience overall, and I like that it's not like he really reinforces that it's not a religious doctrine. That, well, it's not a specific religious like separate thing that Vipassana is. It is coming from the Buddhist teachings. So you are learning a lot about Buddhism, or the what the Buddha taught, and so that's coming straight. That's coming from the words of an enlightened being, and he also discusses other enlightened beings, like talking about Rama or Jesus Christ, and that those are people who also found the same thing within themselves. And he has a Hindu background, so he also has the perspective, the Eastern teachings. He has that perspective, and he really wants people to experience the teachings for themselves. And because you can go to a sermon, you can learn about all the religions, you can go to places, but it's not until you experience what these teachers are talking about is when you really reap the benefits and you really learn for yourself, and you get to make your own decision instead of buying into some kind of specific religion. So even though it could be labeled Buddhist, it is, he doesn't want to separate himself from other religions, and it is universal, the teaching, and he'll explain all about that. And so it's just a really powerful overall thing to do, to spend 10 full days with others, trying to hone in on what is going on in the mind and trying to improve your reactions so you can live more compassionately. I did it at the Pakasa site in northern Illinois, so I don't know how the other sites are, but I hear that they're usually pretty big, like at least like 200 people. So this place was really nice. It kind of had, I guess it kind of has this kind of feel to it. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin, so it's not too far away. So so it's just really beautiful, like out there, farmland in the fields. But there's a couple of lakes. It's next to a park, so there's all these geese there, which is neat. And it was really cold the first 2 nights. It was probably wind chill of definitely below negative. It was like negative 20 or something. So you definitely want to be prepared for that. But like I was saying, with the other centers are usually pretty big. This one, there's a dormitory that holds 50 people, and I think that includes the servers as well. Yeah. So so where you sit is like a pretty small, not small, but a nice sized room, and it's just a really peaceful place to be. It even has like barns, and it looks like just another farm. So I really recommend this place, but I'm curious also to check out other places. So yeah, there were like 25 um, men and 25 women, and it's the age range um, was probably like 20, like mostly mid 20s, and but there was people, there was definitely all ages. Um, maybe maybe this time is winter break for a lot of the students, so I think at other times of the year um, you might hit other age groups, but and all people from all different um, job occupations with different occupations, and since this one's only 2 hours from Chicago, there's a lot of people from that area, but there were also people from Missouri and um, Iowa, Michigan, and so yeah, it was neat to the last day you're able to speak, so you get to everyone. A lot of people are eager to talk, so um, it's interesting that that it is a very eclectic group, um, and how one would go about you just go onto the website, and this particular site um, has supposedly big wait lists, so you want to sign up probably the day of, um, to make sure you get your date. Um, but yeah, it's pretty easy. You just go on the website, and what's really cool about this whole um, retreat is that it is um, free. It is donation free, but you are um, definitely it's important that they get donations, and you're probably going to want to give donations, but there's nobody there that's like asking you for money. So um, and you can, and if you don't have money, it's another very meritorious thing to do would be to serve, which is where you kind of volunteer and you help make the food every day, um, and maybe do other little things, but you also get to sit those 10 days for certain times, and supposedly it's pretty fun because you get to meet other people, um, and you get to probably and you get to talk in the kitchen and stuff. Um, so I might do one of those as well, because yeah, that's also a really, because it's all volunteer. Um, it's all comprised of volunteers, so that's another way to donate. Um, but it's just it's kind of mind blowing because out in California, there's a lot of retreat centers, but if you were to do a 10-day retreat, um, it's gonna cost in the thousands of dollars, definitely. So this is open for anyone. And looking back on my previous video where I was kind of worried, didn't know what to expect, I think it's right that you bring what's going on in your life to the experience. So for me, it was kind of it was kind of like hard to it's interesting because the first 2 days, like, physically are the easiest, like I predicted. Like, yeah, it's gonna be easy, to sit, and there's a lot of good um, energy. People, are ready to do it, and but I think mentally, for me, actually, the first 2 days were the toughest because there is that um, letting go and having to um, be in that empty space, which isn't empty, uh, but it feels very empty, from going from being able to do what you usually do with time to just having a schedule of meditation and your little breaks. So initially getting there and being in a little room, they're nice rooms, um, um, but it's hard um, to have that overlook of just knowing that you have 10 days and it's like, what am I gonna do? And uh, so so it's definitely um, it's definitely interesting, and I think it's definitely good to do that, to experience that, because I think so many people are just uh, attached to the media, and there's definitely a lot more than what we do every day, and by not doing those things, you kind of get in line with nature and look at things closer, different things, important things, sunrise, sunset, the sky, nature, and most importantly, your own inner thoughts. Um, so, um, so yeah, I was wrong that the seventh day would be tough. I was kind of imagining like the pain increasing and increasing, but so by the third and fourth day, the pain was increasing and increasing, and so I was kind of a little worried that if it was kept on increasing at that rate, um, because the first 2 days are easy, and then but then after that, the pain for me at least depends if you have like knee problems and stuff, but or back problems. But for me, the pain then started increasing, and so I think that's what led to the fourth day. Is when I had one particular sit meditation session that was very mentally like problematic, like really questioning like why um, I couldn't focus, and um, kind of just going down a negative train of thoughts. But on the fifth day, I ended up switching to a chair. So that was a huge move because my knees then totally went back to normal. And the thing is, what I think is we're so used to sitting in chairs the whole life, where maybe in India, well, definitely in India, when I was there, people, they have a different way of kind of like crouching, And I think, yeah, when you're just brought up with different ways of standing and sitting, your muscles and body is going to adapt to that. So, the chair made it a lot easier. And after 45 minutes, definitely I could feel, like, in my sit bones, like, pain or, like, a lot of sensation. So there is definitely that. But the chair really helped with not only physical pain but mentally. I think it brought on an ease for the meditation as well. So yeah, and also to go along with what I was kind of scared about with it getting harder and harder. Yeah, it definitely is. Like, my friends were saying that by day 5, it's like you're in the flow. It's like you just adapt. It's like you can, like, there were only 2 people that left, and they left before day 5, which is too bad, because the night of day 5 was when the teacher gave a talk on pain specifically, and so that would have helped. And but I think the people that left weren't scared or anything. It was just that it's probably difficult to sit. It's too bad that they don't give any instructions on proper ways of sitting, or that you can go to a chair. So I definitely recommend that if you notice that your mind is really having trouble focusing, because I think the main point is to understand the technique and to work with that. And another thing good about the chair is that you are, like, for me, spending a lot of time in chairs as a student. So I think that's going to help for when I'm studying, and I have time to, like, come back to the breath and focus, and be in that space. So yeah, you get into the flow and you just let go, and you get used to it, and days kind of run together. but it's nice. It's so relaxing. And to give maybe a kind of, like, daily schedule of, like, what you actually do. Well, first of all, something that, and this is what's kind of made my family laugh a lot, is I didn't actually really understand that that dinner wasn't served. Like, I don't know why. Maybe I looked and I saw that there was a tea time, but maybe I figured, like, there were some kind of just like snacks or something. And but yeah, you get a tea time at, like, 5, where there's like a couple fruits. There's, like, I mean, you can have, like, a couple fruits and tea, but for the first time students, yeah, it's definitely might be a good thing to kind of get into the schedule, where if you want to be going to the 4:30 to 6 sittings, maybe start waking up at 4, and it ends at lights are out at 10, so people are usually in bed by 9, so 9:30. So think that would be helpful to get in that flow and maybe not eat as much at night. The thing is, you don't really need that much food when you're meditating all day. So, yeah, that was interesting to adapt to. And so yeah, like I was mentioning in the first video, the first day you actually, like day 0, you actually get there, and and then you like go over everything, and you can talk, but then the meditation starts that night, and then that's kind of where the whole thing begins, and you can't talk. And something though to ease that is during each day there are little group sittings with the teacher who's there, and she'll ask you if you're understanding the technique, and then you'll get to talk, and it's so it's not pure silence. There is that opportunity, and I think that helps people a lot. And then there's also opportunity at night. I mean, in the lunch break, to ask her or him, the teacher, specific questions. And you can also talk to the student, the manager. There's like one for the men and one for the women, who's kind of like making sure everybody comes to the 3 sits. So going over it, so there is a sit at 4:30 to 6, which you don't have to do. And then breakfast is at 6. So usually everyone gets their breakfast because your stomach's kind of hungry, and that's nice. It's like oatmeal and prunes, and you can make sandwiches, and tea and orange juice and stuff. So then at 7, the first sit is, breakfast is at 6:30. Yeah, breakfast is at 6:30. And then at 8 is our first sit. So there's the 3 sits in that one. That's the first one, 8 to 9. And then you'll get instruction. You'll go back into the meditation hall and get instructions. And you can either stay there or go to your room. Sometimes you have to stay because you get, like I was saying about the small groups, like you get called in to go to ask questions, which is really nice. So you can either stay and or go back to your room. And then there is lunch at 11. Those are really good lunches, like mac and cheese or spaghetti or tacos, and every day is different. And then you have time to rest. If it's nice outside, you can walk. And what's nice about the center in Pakasa is there's there's a lot of like different ponds and lakes, and there were all these geese there, so it's neat to just watch the geese, especially when they fly in. Really cool. So you can take a rest, and then the next meditation's at 1, but the next required meditation is at 2:30 to 3:30. And then again, it's the same thing where you'll go back into the hall and you'll get instructions, and then you can go to your room or stay there and meditate. And there's always 10-minute breaks, though. There's always like chances to stretch, and that helps. And it's amazing how your body adapts, and actually on the like fourth or fifth day, when you learn Vipassana, saying about when you learn Vipassana, he actually asks you not to move. And the first 4 days, you hear a lot of people moving, and so when we learn not to move, or when we're told not to move, it was like there was like no movement. Everyone was like really silent, and that was kind of like, whoa, people can do that, and like I would sometimes go back to my room and set up my cushion there, because I had the chair in the hall. So then I had my cushion in my room, and I would sit there. But sometimes I did rest, and and so yeah, people definitely do take that time to sleep as well. I had a roommate who definitely took most of those times to sleep. So looking back on it, though, I think I could have pushed myself a little harder, because it is a great opportunity to continue practicing, and it is only yourself that is watching. That is, you can sit there for 3 hours a day and space out if you want. Nobody's watching your mind, so it's all about what you want to get out of it and how much you put into it. So, so yeah, I had a lot of great personal insights, and I think you really have to go there with the right motivation. Not that there's one right motivation, but I think just generally to learn the technique, to be open to the meditation, and to spend that time going deep and in the present moment. I think people could go there and just think about the future for the 10 days, and yeah, you might get a lot of great ideas, but that's definitely not the point. And it's definitely not the point to think about dwell on the past either. So to be in the present there is a great opportunity to see nature in a different way, to see like external nature and also internal nature. And I think the biggest insight that I agree with, that Cuenca talks about, is that all of 100% happiness or 100% of misery comes from the mind, and we are able to most people have the choice, the opportunity to see what's happening in the mind and stay in the present, and not be not be in not be taken control of by our and like our passions or the dark side. It's about overcoming the dark side. And by developing a sharp mind, you're really going to have a lot of potential to come back to the breath, and then focus your mind on really beneficial things. So it's just so it's so awesome that this is here now in the world, and people can do this. And It is a big sacrifice to do. It's a big challenge to do it. And it's not all just peaceful and beauty, and it is definitely difficult, but it also, I think, can be very rewarding, and I think it's the most important thing that one can do, and that people should learn, because it is universal and it will benefit oneself, and by benefiting oneself, it'll benefit the world. So, rock on. Enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will be happy to answer them. So